THE DAYS by Helen Hay Whitney (1809–1849) A long grim corridor, a sullen bar Of light athwart the darkness, where no fleet Pale sunshine spreads for dark his winding sheet Alight, not born of noon nor placid star Glows lurid through the gloom, while from afar Beats marching of innumerable feet. Is this the place where tragic armies meet? The throb of terror that presages war? I strain to see, then softly on my sight There falls the vision, manifold they come, White listless Day chained to her brother Night, Their hands are shackled and their lips are dumb, And as they meet the air where each one dies, They turn and smile at me with weary eyes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Everlasting Snows by Helen Hay Whitney. (1809–1849) And shall it be that these undaunted snows, That poise so lightly on the mountain's crest, A lily laid to cheer its lonely breast, Shall their chill smile still face the wind that blows Across the field wherein no blossom grows, And light the land where no gay life may rest, Save glowing hasty fingers of the West, When our two hearts lie cold beneath the rose? These silver flakes of ancient hoary frost, Surviving all our joy's supremest powers, And though the petals of your lips be lost, And gone the summer of your golden head, This pale eternal growth of winter's flowers Shall still live on, though our sweet love be dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Throne and Altar by Helen Hay Whitney. (1809–1849) He had a vision of a golden throne Fronting an altar; both alike were bare, But o'er the purple of the regal chair Blazed the device, "I wait for him alone, Who with the world has held his soul his own." He sadly turned, his height he could not dare; But stay! the text upon the altar there, "I wait for him who has not made a moan, Howe'er his kind have used his heaven sent dower. Fear not, and burn thine incense, lowly heart." And sudden brightness turns the averted face To holy sense of majesty and power, And a voice, "Master, this indeed thou art!" Wondrous music trembles through the space. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
East and West by Helen Hay Whitney. (1809–1849) East and West. You have not ceased for me, though stern browed Fate Laid our two paths apart, when in the West She gave you over to the seas and great wide winds of enterprise, And set your breast against the suns and shadows of the earth; Then with a gilded largesse led my ways Toward the time worn East, who paints her dearth With purple vain imaginings. The praise Of all her languid incense and the pride Of ancient mysteries and hopeless creeds Hold for my heart no spell when warm and wide I see across the blue of Isis' veil The thunderous breakers of your ocean pale, And glints of prairie sun through river reeds. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Battle by Helen Hay Whitney. (1809–1849) The pallid waves caress the paler sand, Falter and trembled, then reluctant wane, Fearing advance, yet venturing again; Gray deep sea waves, that never knew the land, Tired with the tumult, stretch a crooked hand to win a precious sweet surcease from pain, but glancing back upon the mighty main, perforce return to swell the strong command. So fretful life sees death's cold sands and faints, to fling thereon the wearying of her wave, yet turning ere she finds the gloomy shore, seeing ahead the idle senseless grave, behind the kings, the patriots and the saints, she sighing turns to face the fight once more. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Water and Wine by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Jason in Panama. Water and wine. I asked for water, and they brought me wine. Wine in a jeweled chalice, where the gold gleamed through the purple beads as if unrolled. One saw the sun rays of a lifetime shine. So drinking, I forgot my dream divine of crystal purity, for in my hold were wealth and fame and passions manifold, which with the draught I fancied might be mine. Ah, youth, I said, ah, faith and love, I said, these are but broken lances in the strife. What shall remain when all these things are sped? Then crashed the dream. I clutched the hand of fate amid the ruins of my shattered life, and found the gods had cheated, all too late. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Pity Me Not by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Pity me not. Cruel and fair, within thy hollowed hand my heart is lying as a little rose, so faint and faded, scarce could one suppose it might look in thine eyes and understand the song they sing unto a weary land, making it radiant. Yet because I dare to love thee, being weak, lose not thine air of passive distance, fateful and most grand. Pity me not, nor turn away awhile till absence's cloud has caught my passion up. Ah, be not kind, for love's sake, be not kind. Grant me the tragic deepness of the cup, and when thine eyes have flashed and made me blind, kill me beneath the shadow of thy smile. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Dream in Fever by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. A Dream in Fever. A vast screen of unequal downward lines, an orange purple halo round the rain, twists from a space whose very size is pain. Here in this vortex day with night combines, ruby and emerald glint their blazing spines, closing and smothering wheels a brazen mane, a shuddering sea of silence, in its train a thought, a cry whose snake fear trembling twines around, above a life yet uttered not. But my heart hears, and shrieking dies of dread, then soaring breaks its band, and o'er the rim white winged it rends the dark with jagged blot, glimpsing the iris gateway barred ahead, and gazing through the eyes of cherubim. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Woman's Pride by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. A Woman's Pride. I will not look for him. I will not hear my heart's loud beating, as I strain to see across the rain forlorn and hopelessly, nor starting, think 'tis he that draws so near. I will forget how tenderly and dear he might in coming hold his arms to me, for I will prove what woman's pride can be when faint love lingers in the darkness drear. I will not, but should he come to-night, I think my life might break through very bliss. This little will should be so torn apart that all my soul might fail in golden light, and let me die. so do I long for this. Ah, love, thine eyes, nay, love, thy heart, thy heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Age by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. I have a dream that somewhere in the days since when a myriad suns have burned and died, there was a time my soul was not for pride of spendthrift youth, the pensioner who pays dole for the pain of searching through the haze where joy lies hidden. As the puffballs ride the wandering wind across the summer's side, so winged my spirit in a golden blaze of pure and careless present, future not, but a sad dotard's wail. And I was young, who now am old. Now years like flashes seem, lambent or grey on the great wall of thought. This is a song a poet may have sung. No proof remains. I have but dreamed a dream. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In the Mist by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. Ah, love, my love, upon this alien shore I lean and watch the pale uneasy ships slip through the waving mist in strange eclipse, like spirits of some time and land of yore. I did not think my heart could love thee more, and yet, when lightlier than a swallow dips, the wind lays ghostly kisses on my lips, I seem to know of love the eternal core. Here is no throbbing of impassioned breath to beat upon my cheek, no pulsing heart, which might be silenced by the touch of death. No smile which other smile has softly kissed, or doting gaze which time must draw apart, but spirit's spirit in the trailing mist. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
On the Mountain Slope by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. High on the mountain slope I pause and turn. Over my head by the rough crag points high seems rent and torn the tender hovering sky, till almost through I see a heaven spark burn. Then downward to the sleeping world I yearn, whose eyes so heavy droop they may not try to catch the higher gleam, and live thereby. Youth passes graveward, and they never learn. Then faint with brooding o'er a careless earth I turn to Nature and her broad warm breast, strive for a friendship with her sunburnt mirth, teach my sad soul to catch her cadence deep, dream that in her absorbed my heart must rest. But Nature smiles and turns once more in sleep. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To the Beloved by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. To the Beloved. Beloved, when the tides of life run low as sobbing echoes of a dead refrain, and I may sit and watch the silent rain, and muse upon the fullness of my woe, then is my burden lighter, for I know the roses of my heart shall bloom again, the fairer for this plenitude of pain, and summer shall forget the chilly snow. But when life calls me to its revels gay, and I must face the world's wide gazing eyes, nor find sweet rest by night, or peace by day, even seems your love, where I would turn for aid, as distant as the blue in sunny skies. Then am I very lonely and afraid. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Brook by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. Earth holds no sweeter secret anywhere than this, my brook, that lisps along the green of mossy channels, where slim birch trees lean like tall, pale ladies, whose delicious hair lures and invites the kiss of wanton air. The smooth, soft grasses, delicate between the rougher stalks, by waifs alone are seen, shy things that live in sweet seclusion there. And is it still the same? And do these eyes of every silver ripple meet the trees that bend above like guarding emerald skies? I turn, who read the city's beggared book, and hear across the moan of many seas the whisper and the laughter of my brook. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Beneath the Moon by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Beneath the moon. Give me thy hand, beloved. Here where still the night wind hovers 'neath the pallid moon, give me this fleeting moment. All too soon the listless day will break upon the hill. This last sweet night is mine. The tremulous thrill upon thy lips is all the precious boon I begged of heaven. The garish sun of noon is theirs, the rest, mine is this moment's will. Our love could never be the love of day. I have not claimed the welcome of thy lips, no touch save fluttering hand, and for the pay I gave my minstrelsy of sea and sky. Once more thine eyes, now sun-stained finger-tips, send through the hush of dawn a glad good-bye. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Ruby by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Ruby. Ah, she was fair, this daughter of a queen, jewels upon her breast's soft fall of snow, jewels in golden hair, and fierce aglow, the gem of pride upon her brow serene. Sleeping soft moonstone, emerald's baleful green, a single sapphire, singing soft and low of wars for beauty's sake in years ago, and flaming opal, wed with tourmaline. Yet was there one great stone she might not wear, and so her eyes were weary, and her mouth curved in the listless line of vain desire. No diamond pure was hers the right to bear, but, crimson poison, petal of the south, the ruby shone in deep unholy fire. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Spring and Autumn by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. The painted world has laid her jewels down, let fall the pinchbeck hair about her face, and croons a love song. In a far-off place, where she was strutting in her silken gown, she met the youth. His face was young and brown. "Good day to you," she cried. The frosty lace about her shoulders trembled. Ah, disgrace! He turned and left her weeping in the town. She smiles not any more. Her heart disdains the wind's rough courting, loud and indiscreet. Her tears dissolve the earth in ceaseless rains, And though her searching steps be light and fleet, through frowning city or soft country lanes, now never more may spring and autumn meet. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Lost Moment by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Lost Moment. This moment I so careless threw away, tossed to the ages with a spendthrift hand. Little I recked the labour that had planned this flash eternal of a summer day. Aeons of sequent toil had passed to pay wealth to the freighted instant. Slow and grand wavers a solemn dirge across the land. One soul, in my lost moment, found a way to throw the mock to time and call him slave. And I, a pauper still, gaze wise at last to all the grey horizon line of naught. But from the heart I deemed an empty grave gleams forth like spark my precious gem of past, shrined in the setting of a deathless thought. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Coming of Love by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. I dreamed that love came as the oak trees grow, by the chance dropping of a tiny seed. And then from moon to moon with steady speed, though torn by winds and chilled with heedless snow, the sap of pulsing life would upward flow, till in its might the heavens themselves could read portents of power that they must learn to heed. This was my dream, the waking proved not so. For love came like a flower, and grew apace. I saw it blossom tenderly and frail, till the dear spring had run its eager race. Then the rough wind tossed wide the petals red, the seeds fell far in soil beyond my pale. I know not now if love be lost or dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Evening at Washington by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Evening at Washington. The purple stretches of the evening sky lean to the fair white city waiting here, flecking with gold the marble's lifted tier, down the blue marsh where crows to southward fly, flanked by dim ramparts where the tide dreams by. High from the city's heart a lifted spear in its straight splendour makes the heavens seem near, symbol of man-made force that shall not die. To the tall crest we gaze in self-command, assured the world's our own, and we may dare to raise our Babel through forbidden aisles, and hold the skirt of knowledge in our hand. Great in our moment spurn the world's despair, while heaven looks down through calm unmeasured miles. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Love's Kiss by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Love's Kiss. Kiss me but once, and in that space supreme my whole dark life shall quiver to an end. Sweet death shall see my heart and comprehend that life is crowned, and in an endless gleam will fix the colour of the dying stream, that life and death may meet as friend with friend, an endless immortality to blend. Kiss me but once, and so shall end my dream. And then Love heard me, and bestowed his kiss, and straight I cried to death, I will not die. Earth is so fair when one remembers this. Life is but just begun. Ah, come not yet. The very world smiles up to kiss the sky, and in the grave one may forget, forget. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
THE SCARLET THREAD by Helen Hay Whitney (1809–1849) The sun rose dimly through the pallid rain. Dear heart, and have we strength to face the day? The times and life alike are old and gray, All worn with long monotonies of pain. Lo, we are working out the curse of Cain, Who never felt the fire of passion's sway. Ah, show us crimson in some tragic way, That we may live! Fate laughed in her disdain. A thread of scarlet clashed upon mine eyes, Hung for a moment, and was swept behind; And blankly I beheld the hopeless skies, For day by contrast now as grimmest night. Remembering light, as do the newly blind, I pray for death to hide the bitter sight. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Autumn by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. The ruddy banners of the autumn leaves toss out a challenge to the waiting snows, where winter stalks from o'er the mountain rose. This fiery blaze his onward march receives, a mock defence his coward heart believes, and turns him sulking to his moated close. Now man the confidence of nature knows, and feels the mighty heart that loves and grieves. Not as in rude young March or hoyden June, hard in their beauty, laughing through their days. Their fine indifference is out of tune. In the dark paths we tread in hope and fear, look we to autumn and her gracious ways, the great last swan song of the dying year. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Tide of the Heart by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Jason in Panama. The Tide of the Heart. Love, when you leave me, as with moon-bent tide The glad waves leave the beaches of my heart, Slowly and indolently they depart Ripple by ripple, till the light has died And left the naked sands forlorn to bide The sea's return. No might of human power can fill the empty waste, Nor take 1 hour from that long durance In earth's prison wide. But when you come again, and hold your hands, Dear hands, outstretched to take me, then The waves, they turn, full flooded on the fainting sands, And all the dimpled hollows smile again, And brimmed with life, the deep mysterious caves Forget the distant night of lonely pain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Does the Pearl Know? By Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Does the pearl know that in its shade and sheen The dreaming rose and tender wavering green Are hid the hearts of all the ranging seas? That beauty weeps for gifts as fair as these? Does it desire aught else when its rare blush Reflects aurora in the morning's hush, Encircling all perfection can bestow? Does the pearl know? Does the bird know when through the waking dawn He soaring sees below the silvered lawn, And weary men who wait to watch the day Steal o'er the heights where he may wheel and stray? Can he conceive his fee divine to share, As a free joyous peer with sun and air, And pity the sad things that creep below? Does the bird know? Does the heart know, when filled to utter brim, The least quick throb, a sacrificial hymn To a great God who scorns the frown of Jove, That here it finds the awful power of love? Think you the new born babe in first wise sleep Fathoms the gifts the heavens have bade him keep? Yet if this be, if all things are so, Does the heart know? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In Autumn by Helen Hay Whitney. LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. The gold red leaves have burned to their last great glow and died, and underfoot by the strong oak's root they are seized by the angry wind and spurned, and into a common grave have turned, for summer warm and wide. A year must a sapling wage its life with the sun and rain, then its tender youth, without reck or ruth, is frozen and beaten to harsh old age by a stroke of nature mother's rage, and the sturdy fight seems vain. It wails to the oak o'erhead as the coffin cold wraps round the end of life. Its toil and strife in the secret of being I have found is a seed in the wind and a log on the ground. I hope I will soon be dead. Peace, little struggler, sleep, and the great oak croons a song. Death is but night and a cradle white, for one dark space may the shadows creep. Then spring will rise from her dungeon keep, and life wake wise and strong. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Waiting for Day by Helen Hay Whitney. LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Sweet Lady Night is paling white. Why lags her lord and master? She, weeping, lays her jewels off. Ah, may he not come faster! But hush! The tender rosy blush her beauty fair adorning. Her love steps o'er the mountain's rim. They kiss, and here's the morning. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Angel of Indifference by Helen Hay Whitney. LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. A man once loved a woman in the days of old. Our bond is the strongest in the world, they said. The angels up above are jealous of our love. Perhaps they are wishing we were dead overhead. So they loved for a time, and the passing of a time, and the angel of indifference, smiling down, saw their fire, and he covered for a space with his sombre wings his face, that they twain might have of love all desire without tire. But love's perfect joy within them burned at last to a flame, till they longed for a breeze that would gently cool the heart. For absence, cooling snow, they sighed apart, and lo, though they murmured still their love, hand in heart, loath to part. But at length they prayed together to the calm angel, pale. Ah, we yearn, scorched and weary, for the peace of thy breast, for that land where love seems but the shadow of dreams, where all sleep in the silver of the west. Give us rest. And he heard, and he bore them to the cool grey heights, where all men may drift, and himself alone stands fast, and gave them for their token the peace of dreams unbroken, where their souls, his faithful vassals, rest at last from the past. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dear Dead Women by Helen Hay Whitney. LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. The winds have chilled the loving odorous south. All wan and grey, she seeks a place to die. Her tossing hair, her pleading, passionate mouth, pity that things so fair in death must lie. But winter holds and kills her with a sigh. One kiss he lays upon her lips so proud, shuts the blue eyes and winds her sombre shroud. I walk between the narrow way of yew. The glowing amaranth droops upon its stalk. The shivering birds are timorous and few, and waifs of summer strew the untended walk. With vague sweet forms I seem to pass and talk. Though ladies of those days in summer's prime, whose smiles prevail not for the frown of time, their little tripping feet reluctant turned down the dark paths they had not known before. Behind them all the glow of living burned, but they must enter through the gloomy door, and leave behind the loves that plead no more. The dear frivolity of wiles and ways they neither need nor know in these grim days. Here in their gardens close I spend no tear, no smile, too rare the heights for such display. But on the frosted hedges lifted spear, and with my head a little bowed, I lay a pale camellia, proud and cold as they, who wait beneath their ashen pall of snow. Perhaps the fair dead dames will see and know. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Grave of Hope by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. There's a wild little gnome in the wood who sings as he digs a grave of hope that soars and hope that flies and hope that singes her wings and lies in peace where the willows wave. And he croons in the pauses of toil a shivering song of fears, the lean black shades of hope so fair who weave her nets with her golden hair and harry her down the years. And he knows she will perish at last. He has carved her name on the stone, while the trees draw near and forget to sleep, and the little leaves bend their heads and weep for hope that must die alone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Trees of the Wilderness by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Trees of the Wilderness. The great bleak trees stand up against the sky, lifting their naked arms in ceaseless prayer to the unpitying heavens, that they might die rather than drag their weary lives out there. Through starless nights the untold hours wear on, all awful phantom shapes affright the wood, and morning light but brings the unwinking sun to torture with its glare their solitude. In those grim wilds no sweet-voiced bird will sing, no flowers will bloom within those trackless lands, nor is there trace of any living thing, save those gaunt giants holding up their hands. And when they fall, still round the unknown spot howls the rough wind, till in the common ground they end the life which is, and yet is not, a riddle where no meaning shall be found. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Love of the Rose by Helen Hay Whitney, read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The love of the rose. Trilled forth the nightingale in sweetest sleep of day, unto his love the rose, ah, golden heart, unclose, for love, my fairest rose, will last for aye. So through the waning night she learned to wear her crown, yielded her heart's sweet strife, and found that love was life, set to the time the dear bird lilted down. But when the morning came, the red sun burned above, hid are the night birds all, flower petals fade and fall, the rose is dead, and what became of love? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In the Green Yew by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. In the green yew. The wind is howling in angry pain. Ah me, and I cannot rest. On such a night home is best. Why does she stand in the same old place, with the smile of smiles on her cold white face, and call me through the rain? Ah, the wind has died from the fear of her smile, and I creep quite still on over the hill to where she stands mid the scented yew, and where I now am standing too, and she sees me all the while. A little green snake curls through her hair, the scent of the yew is strong and sweet. Her eyes have drawn me to her feet, and I lie along on the drenching ground, and worship, and watch the snake curl round. His tongue shoots through the air. Now slowly she takes her eyes from me, and I dream and wait, till in shades of hate my love of her smile has faded quite, and I spring to kill her, there in the night, but only the yew I see. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Dead Night by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. The strong, brave night is dead. Its endless deeps of patient tenderness, the moon bright still, when every silver lake and purple hill hold wise, unfathomed converse with the steeps of starry heaven, are past. All nature weeps, and draws the veiling grey of morning mist upon the lips that night's last clouds have kissed. The night that watched so well the world who sleeps. The night is dead, alas, and pallid day is but the corpse laid out in cold array, the white sad emblem of the heart we knew. Through half-closed lids the eyes shine palely blue. The gleaming grave-clothes cover all the rest. So cruel still lies now the air's sweet breast, and trees and hills fold down calm hands and eyes, that none may guess their secret mysteries. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Softly sighs the gracious wind, dash of rose and deeps of sky. Love is fair and love is kind, singing free I passed him by. Shredded clouds are whirled in air, winter stalks adown the gale, tossing wide love's golden hair. Cease the singing, love grows pale. Howls the grey sky to the sea, loose the storm dogs from their bed. Turned I back, and woe is me, I must die, for love is dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sigh Not for Love by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Sigh not for love, the ways of love are dark. Sweet child, hold up the hollow of your hand, and catch the sparks that flutter from the stars. See how the late sky spreads in flushing bars. They are dead roses from your own dear hand, tossed by kindly breezes. Lean and hark, and you shall know how morning glads her lark. The timid dawn, herself a little child, casts up shy eyes in loving worship, dear. Is it not yet enough? The spring is here, and would you weep for winter's tempest wild? sigh not for love, the ways of love are dark. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ambition and Love by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Ambition and Love. Sweet in the golden morning of my days, with young tempestuous joy I reared my head, to gaze adown the splendid sunlit ways, where all the fires of fame burned glory red. I recked not where the sounding arches led, save at the end I gain my august bays. But as of old, when through the patient night, fair losing or fair gaining, till the morn, great Israel strove to break the angel's might, till spent and failing in his heavenly scorn, the immortal wrestler touched the earthly born, striking him powerless, winning thus the fight. So did false Fortune, when I strove and fought, smiling neath half-closed eyelids, when seemed won, for a brief hour, the beckoning goal I sought. Then with frustrating touch dimmed all my sun, blotted the work and faith so brave begun, but what I gained was none too dearly bought. I have no wreath to lay before your feet, there shines no future, and the past is dead. But you have heard me, and I love you, sweet. The low sun crowns with gold your gracious head, the heavy lilies nod upon their bed. I look at you, and find my life complete. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To Be Thee by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. To be thee. Broad-browed, beneath a cloud of dusky hair, her eyes are midnight seas that never sleep, but see beyond the dull world's heavy air the mystery of ages buried deep. The faint sweet shadows, trembling round her mouth, lighten with youth and love the sphinx's face, and as she moves, a soft wind from the south, floating, flower-laden seems, so sweet her grace. Aloof she stands from idle mirth and tears, and keeps the white sails of her spirit furled, although a girl, pure from the stain of years, an ancient Egypt smiling at the world. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Little Sad Face by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Little sad face. Little sad face, come close, so close to mine. See through these eyes the sweetness of the day. Feel how the sunbeams dance in summer's wine. Hold fast my hands, and let our pulse combine, and with my steps dance down the happy way. For youth is love, and love is light and gay. Little sad face. Little sad heart, come close, so close to mine, and know the utmost limits of the will of all the worlds, till soft thy heart divine a joy which can encompass grief like thine. Hide in my breast, and let faint pulses thrill, for youth is love, and love is great and still. Little sad heart. Little sad soul, which never can come to mine, so great in loneliness of grey despair, there is not one whose spirit may entwine with thee. The world looks on without a sign. Go, hide thy face within thy tossing hair, thyself veil close with smiles, for none will care. Little sad soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Earth's Tears and Man's by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. These slanting lines of hoary rain are as my grizzled hair. The face of earth is old with pain, as mine with dull despair. And yet one sun will gild the air Earth's tears were not in vain. No smile can ease mine eyes of care, or make me young again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I have seen what the seraphs have seen, by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. I have seen what the seraphs have seen. I have seen what the seraphs have seen, as they gaze through the limitless air, through the wind and the clouds to the lean, pale face of the moon, and the bare, bright flame of the sun, unaware. I have seen what the seraphs have seen. Through the limitless spaces of air, the brave mists that waver and wane are patient and pallid and fair. I have fathomed the pride and the pain of the snows and compassionate rain, through the limitless spaces of air. I have known them, the brave mists that wane, and the glory and peace of the skies, where all strife and impatience are vain, and a hush are all passionate sighs. For I gazed in the deeps of love's eyes, and I know what no seraphs shall gain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Alas from the Woods, by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Alas from the woods. Alas from the woods, with a leaf in her hair, and the rain of the night, and the wind of the morn, they both quivered right, for my spirit forlorn, in a garment of white, and a laugh newly born, sprang in maddest of moods, like a blossom in air, to the kiss of the sun, and the curl of the breeze, caught the cobwebs begun, in the hush of the trees, all my beatings were one, with the swirl of the seas. Dead the creature that broods, in a tangle of care, there's a lass from the woods, with a leaf in her hair. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Was There Another Spring? By Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. Was there another spring than this? I half remember through the haze of glimmering nights and golden days, a broken pinioned birdling's note, an angry sky, a sea-wrecked boat, a wandering through rain-beaten ways. Lean closer, love, I have thy kiss. Was there another spring than this? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To Diane by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. The ruddy poppies bend and bow, Diane, do you remember? The sun you knew shines proudly now, the lake still lists the breeze's vow. Your towers are fairer for their stains, each stone you smiled upon remains. Sing low, where is Diane? Diane, do you remember? I come to find you through the years, Diane, do you remember? For none may rule my love's soft fears, the ladies now are not your peers. I seek you through your tarnished halls, pale sorrow on my spirit falls, high, low, where is Diane? Diane, do you remember? I crush the poppies where I tread, Diane, do you remember? Your flower of life, so bright, so red, she does not hear, Diane is dead. I pace the sunny bowers alone, where naught of her remains but stone. Sing low, where is Diane? Diane does not remember. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bird Love, Rose Love by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. If you were but a rose, dear love, and I your bird, with dip of wing, to tell a promise of the spring, and with a golden swift caress my happy careless love confess. No pain such gentle vows could bring, no tears should stay my flight above, if you were but a rose, dear love. Bird love, rose love, to last the day, why shall not we, whose hearts are light, put by the coming of the night, catch glints of rapture from the sky, the scents that swing where lilies lie, and ring them to a garland white, to ease the pain of life away? Bird love, rose love, to last the day. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Joy of Life by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. The Joy of Life. Her hair was twined with vine leaves through the gold, the leopard skin about her shoulders flung showed gleams of her as marble, fair and cold. I breathed not, listening to the song she sung. Hither and thither through the solemn world glory of purple, passionate blazing red, glints through the gloom, and through the grey is swirled. Ah, but the leaves twine sweet about her head. Heedless, men pass me in their search for life, hunting for altars to their souls' fine fires, crying the sun or joy of toil and strife, and know not that 'tis I their heart desires. They dream not that the sheen on peacock's breast, the haze and perfume of a summer's day, the silver stealing over the twilight west, are joys more rich than all the world's display. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Mist by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Mist on the sea, like a great bird's pendulous wing, broken and hushed. It trails on the face of the main. Down comes the sun, a red shot from a merciful sling, burning its heart with swift death as an end to the pain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Last Cloud by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. A red rose cloud upon the evening sky, a gallant cloud which dies in foremost fight, too proud for prisons of triumphant night, knowing no pause, no strain of changing years, its little hour too short for dreams or tears, the faithful sun its first and latest light. Who would not so be glad to fight and die? A red rose cloud upon the evening sky. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Sonia. Song. Love is a broken lily, a pale and crownless rose, with golden heart made chilly by traitor touch of snows. So sleep, my heart, lie sleeping, nor open weary eyes, for waking is but weeping, and sleep is paradise. Love is a cadence trailing, where broken music falls, a hapless shadow sailing across deserted walls. So still my heart lies sleeping, till love's hot sun be set, For waking is but weeping, asleep sad eyes forget. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In the Grave by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Nemo. Dear love, do you wake in that land where my waking is done? Do you bare your brave head to the winds and the clouds and the sun? And is summer aflame? Or has the night fallen to sleep on earth's wonderful breast, and with it all joys save but you who are dearest and best? Wakeful, sighing my name? Sometimes as I sleep the sweet rain flickers over my head, and smiling I dream of the tears that your sorrow has shed. Then I sigh and awake. For the dreams of the grave are the dreams that have died in the morn, and their ghosts alone haunt the cold earth where their Maker was born. For a woman's sweet sake, perhaps you are singing and winding the garlands of May. Not mine be the hand to withhold you the golden today, or give you pause to your song. Perhaps the sweet blossoms may charm the grave's pestilent breath. Ah, life is so short, so forget and be glad, dear, for death is so terribly long. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Flowers of Proserpine by Helen Hay Whitney. Read for LibriVox.org by Eva Davis. The jewels of the sun are not more rare than these that lie upon my lurid halls. The perfume kiss upon the drowsy air is sweet as spring can hold within her walls. The spell which night may cast upon her thralls is mine. The length of all this gloomy land knows no more sun than falls from my white hand. My wealth great kings have prayed for, in their pride, bowing before me. Nay, I hate the place. I am no queen at heart. My laughter died, that I might wear my crown with regal grace. The very flowers which smile on my sad face I am afraid of. See, they are the worst of all my fears, so fair, yet black accurst. The languid passion poppy sways and dips to show the black heart bursting into flame. The crimson evil of a satyr's lips, a sneering, nodding finger-post of shame. 1,000 other flowers without a name huddle all trembling in the dusk behind, like hunted ghosts whose eyes are white and blind. The grass is not the grass that overhead cooled my bare feet with daisies' purest snows, but thick pale blades like fingers of the dead thrust from forgotten graves upon their foes. Ah, horrid soil! For everything that grows in this confine but mocks in wicked scorn the fairness of the land where I was born. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Some Verses by Helen Hay Whitney.